story about Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place on Earth. In the heart of Siberia, far from the bustling streets of Moscow and the rolling plains of Russia's southern steppes, lies a place where the cold isn't just a season, it's a way of life. Oymyakon, a small rural settlement in the Sakha Republic, is known as the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. A journey to the coldest place on Earth. Let's set the scene. Oymyakon is about 750 kilometers, 466 miles, from Yakutsk, the nearest major city. Often referred to as the coldest city in the world, Yakutsk itself is a challenge to reach. But Oymyakon? That takes adventure to a whole new level. The name, Oymyakon, roughly translates to water that doesn't freeze, a curious irony considering its bone-chilling temperatures. This tiny village sits in a valley surrounded by mountains, which is one of the reasons it gets so incredibly cold. The mountains trap frigid air in the valley, and with no moderating influence from oceans or other large bodies of water, the temperature plummets during the long Siberian winters. The record low here, a staggering -67.7 degrees Celsius, -89.9 degrees Fahrenheit, recorded in 1933. To give you perspective, that's colder than the average temperatures on Mars. Coldest months and temperatures. The coldest months in Oymyakon are December, January, and February, with January being the absolute coldest. The average temperatures during these months hover around -50 degrees Celsius, -58 degrees Fahrenheit. But the record low, -67.7 degrees Celsius, -89.9 degrees Fahrenheit, was recorded in January. Summers, however, are surprisingly warm, and temperatures can climb to 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. In July, daylight hours and sunset. The daylight hours in Oymyakon vary dramatically throughout the year due to its high latitude. In the winter, the average duration of daylight is just about 3 hours, with the sun rising late in the morning and setting early in the afternoon. In summer, the opposite happens, with nearly 21 hours of daylight during the peak of the season. Sunsets in this region are unique, due to its geographical position. The twilight lingers longer than in many parts of the world, giving the illusion of a delayed sunset. However, this is more noticeable in summer than winter. Weather conditions. The weather in Oymyakon is predominantly cloudy during the winter. The overcast skies contribute to the oppressive cold, as the lack of sunlight makes it harder for the ground to retain any warmth. In the summer, the region experiences more sunny and clear skies, bringing warmth and a brief respite from the icy grip of winter. In contrast, summers in Oymyakon can be surprisingly warm, with average highs reaching 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. In July, this dramatic swing from one extreme to the other makes it one of the most unique climates on Earth. Life in Oymyakon, a frozen reality. So, how do the roughly 500 people who call Oymyakon home survive such extreme conditions? Their daily routines are a masterclass in adaptation. Cars and trucks, for example, are either kept running 24/7 during the winter or stored in heated garages. Letting an engine go cold here can mean it won't start again until spring. Water, too, presents challenges. The ground is frozen year-round due to permafrost, so running water and sewage systems are rare luxuries. Most residents rely on outhouses and melt ice or snow for water. For bathing, people heat water on wood-burning stoves. Yes, there's electricity, but it's not always reliable, especially during storms. Speaking of storms, Oymyakon doesn't experience the fierce snowstorms you might imagine. Precipitation here is relatively low, making it more of a dry cold. However, the nearby Derjă River, which snakes through the region, freezes solid in the winter, providing an icy roadway for locals. Survival and livelihood. What do the people of Oymyakon do for a living? Most are involved in reindeer herding, fishing, or hunting. These traditional practices have been passed down for generations and are essential for both food and income. Agriculture is limited due to the harsh climate, but some residents manage to grow hardy vegetables like potatoes during the brief summer months. The average income here is modest, often under $500 United States dollars per month. However, the close-knit community and self-sufficiency help people get by. Bartering and sharing resources are common practices, and people take pride in their ability to thrive in such an unforgiving environment. A cultural snapshot. Oymyakon is a part of Russia, governed by the Sakha Republic. The Sakha people, also known as Yakuts, make up a significant portion of the population. Their language, Yakut, is spoken alongside Russian, and some younger residents are learning English, though it's not widely used. Religion plays an important role here, with most people following Russian Orthodoxy. Traditional shamanistic beliefs also persist, adding a layer of cultural richness to the region. The people of Oymyakon are tough and resourceful. Their clothing is made to withstand the cold, often crafted from reindeer or other animal hides. These are not just traditional garments, they're life-saving tools. Modern outerwear has also made its way into the village, though it's often combined with traditional techniques for maximum warmth. A tourist's experience. Yes, tourists can visit Oymyakon, though it's not for the faint of heart. The village has basic guest houses where visitors can stay, but don't expect 5-star luxury. Most come to experience the extreme cold, witness the stunning natural beauty, and immerse themselves in the unique culture. Activities might include ice fishing, dog sledding, and learning traditional survival skills from the locals. One fascinating thing to note is how the locals breathe outside in such extreme cold. They often wrap their faces in fur or scarves to prevent frostbite and warm the air before it enters their lungs. Staying outside for long periods without proper protection can be life-threatening. Health and amenities. Medical facilities in Oymyakon are limited. For serious health issues, residents must travel to Yakutsk, a journey that can take hours even in good weather. Basic first aid and treatments are handled locally, often with the help of government-provided resources. Despite the challenges, the government has made efforts to provide some amenities. There's electricity, though as mentioned earlier, it can be unreliable. Schools and a small library also serve the community, offering education and a connection to the outside world. The stories of Oymyakon. Oymyakon has a rich history. It was established as a seasonal stopover for reindeer herders but grew into a permanent settlement. Over time, two famous stories stand out. The coldest day, in 1933, when temperatures hit -67.7 degrees Celsius. The entire village came together to keep fires burning and ensure that no one froze to death. This event is remembered as a testament to the resilience of the people. The lost tourist. In the 1990s, a foreign tourist became stranded in Oymyakon due to a car breakdown. The locals took him in, cared for him, and helped him repair his vehicle. A story that highlights their warmth and hospitality despite the harsh environment. Why stay? You might wonder why anyone would choose to live in such a place. For the people of Oymyakon, this is home. Their ancestors have lived here for centuries, and their way of life is deeply connected to the land. They value their traditions, their independence, and the strong sense of community that comes from surviving together in such an extreme environment. Women and family life. Women in Oymyakon, like the men, are resilient and hardworking. Beauty is subjective, but many visitors are struck by the natural elegance of the Sakha people, with their high cheekbones and striking features. Family life revolves around mutual support, and children are taught survival skills from a young age. Physical and environmental facts. Oymyakon is not near any major seas, but it's surrounded by rivers and mountains. The nearby Verkhoyansk range adds to the dramatic landscape, with peaks that rise over 2,000 meters, 6,561 feet. Despite the harsh conditions, the people of Oymyakon maintain an impressive average life expectancy of around 65 to 70 years. Location and accessibility. Oymyakon is located in Russia, within the Sakha Republic, also known as Yakutia. While Yakutsk is the closest city and famously cold, it isn't well known globally. Instead, the nearest internationally recognizable city is Moscow, Russia's capital, which lies about 6,200 kilometers, 3,850 miles, away to the west. The area falls under Russian governance, and the currency here is the Russian ruble, rub. Despite its remoteness, the connection to Russia's national infrastructure ensures some access to modern services. Animals of Oymyakon. The extreme cold doesn't deter wildlife. Oymyakon is home to various wild animals like reindeer, wolves, foxes, lynx, and brown bears. For domesticated animals, reindeer are the most significant, as they're vital for transportation, clothing, and food. Cows and horses are also raised, though they need specialized care during the winter months. Cuisine and famous dishes. The food in Oymyakon reflects the need for high-calorie meals to sustain people through harsh conditions. Some of the most famous dishes include stroganina, thinly sliced raw frozen fish or meat, served with salt and spices. This delicacy is a must-try for visitors. Reindeer stew, made with locally sourced reindeer meat. This hearty dish is a staple. Fish soup, uka, a hot and flavorful broth made from freshwater fish like trout or grayling. Kumis, fermented horse milk, a traditional drink with a slightly sour taste. Boiled potatoes with fish or meat. Simple but essential, especially during winter. These meals are designed to provide warmth and energy, crucial for surviving in such a cold environment. Wrapping it up, Oymyakon's unique characteristics make it one of the most extreme places on Earth. From its location in the Sakha Republic of Russia, its bitterly cold winters in December to February, its surprising wildlife, and its reliance on traditional high-calorie dishes, every aspect of life here is tailored to combat the harsh environment. The resilience of its people, the wild beauty of its landscapes, and its fascinating natural phenomena, like delayed sunsets and long nights, make it an awe-inspiring place to explore, whether in person or through stories. Oymyakon is a place of extremes, not just in temperature but in the strength and spirit of its people. It's a testament to human adaptability, a place where life endures against all odds. Whether you're an adventurer seeking a one-of-a-kind experience or simply someone curious about how people survive in the coldest inhabited place on Earth, Oymyakon offers a story unlike any other. Oymyakon is a fascinating place, and understanding its details helps paint a picture of life in such extreme conditions. Let me dive deeper into the requested details to complete the story for your YouTube video. Oymyakon is governed as part of the Sakha Republic, Yakutia, a federal subject of Russia. Its administrative structure is rooted in the larger framework of the Russian government, with local and regional authorities overseeing day-to-day management. Let's break it down. Local governance. Oymyakon itself is a small rural locality, Selo, within the Oymyakonsky district of Yakutia. The local administration is typically headed by a mayor or a similar municipal leader who manages services like infrastructure, healthcare, and education. While specific names of current officials may vary, governance in such regions focuses heavily on survival and basic amenities. Police and security. Oymyakon, like other rural parts of Russia, is under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, MVD. The nearest police station would likely be in the district center or a larger nearby village, such as Tomtor or Ust-Nera. Crime rates in these areas are generally low, partly because of the sparse population and harsh conditions. Representation in government. Provincial representation. Oymyakon falls under the jurisdiction of the Saka Republic, which has its own regional government led by a head of the republic. As of recent years, the head of the Saka Republic is Asen Nikolaev, though this may change with elections. National representation. At the federal level, the region sends representatives to the State Duma, Russia's national parliament. The specific representatives may vary depending on electoral districts, but these officials advocate for the region's needs in Moscow. Amenities and government support. Given its extreme climate, the Russian government provides subsidies and resources to sustain life in Oymyakon. This includes fuel and energy supplies, subsidized heating fuels and electricity, healthcare services, medical facilities in nearby towns or mobile units for emergencies, transportation support, maintenance of roads and the occasional use of government transport to ensure connectivity. Challenges in governance. Managing Oymyakon is an enormous challenge due to its isolation and harsh environment. Local officials work closely with the regional government in Yakutsk to ensure residents have access to essentials like food, heating, and medical care, while Oymyakon itself may not have a high-profile political figure. The regional and federal systems aim to ensure its survival as part of Russia's diverse and expansive territory.